What is your question?
That was my question. I'm good now.
Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me okay was your question. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was an awful lot of build-up. Ask another
I
one.
thought that was a prelude.
I'm not
That
allowed
was
to
a good
speak the
warm-up
rest of
question.
the
Now we're ready for the real one.
episode.
All right. Onward. Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play set in the Eberron Campaign world. I'm Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
I'm RA.
And I'm Casey.
And welcome to another episode.
Did we nail it?
We did.
it.
We got it all until you
Until
said
you
that.
asked if we
And
nailed
now
it.
the intro is all...
I love that you disbelieved it so much.
all
You treated
ruined.
it like rehearsal. This was not the final dress, my dude. We are going.
Obviously.
Maybe next episode, Philip.
A dice roll has determined that Eric will recap the events of the previous episode.
We had breakfast.
It's true.
Good job.
Yeah. Shade had a weird dream where a beautiful forested place went boom, I think. Like something bad happened. And then Esri made the situation better by talking about spirits that infect your mind that deal with nightmares. Ari made some oatmeal and then made some bacon to wake Pog up. And we had a very intense conversation about running versus staying. And if we stay in Stormreach, given that some people from our past, Falco and Tommel, have shown back up, if we're going to stay, how do we protect ourselves? And a few different ideas were thrown out, and I don't think any ideas were ruled out. It's just kind of a, we're going to try a bunch of different stuff. And then Esri and Shade went out into the woods to do some combat training, just trying to get Shade to be able to use her mark on command, basically more consistently, and not use it on command. You decide which is more important. Pog's work had a break-in, or just something got stolen from one of the rooms, and one of Pog's coworkers had to be let go because of recompensating the victim. And Pog said, "I have smart friends," so I'm excited for him to introduce them onto the show. And then Ari was trying to do his job, and then some metaphysical entity introduced a complication into that, and he tried to talk to Tommel, and Tommel has shark eyes. So, and that's literally where we left off, is Ari finding out that Tommel has shark eyes. So
It's not weird. He's just running a strange booth in the market, and he sells the eyes of various creatures. He has shark eyes. It's not, you know. So I don't know why you're making it weird.
you want some shark eyes? I got octopuses too.
Talk about a niche market, man. Business is not steady. It's not steady.
Real hit and miss.
Also, you're going to have to be careful about your sarcasm when you say something's not weird in the fantasy setting that I haven't played in before.
For sure.
Fair enough. No, this is weird. This was super weird.
don't know about
Yeah,
the shark
Tommel's eyes.
Just to be
Tommel's
clear,
eyes are black,
Shark
black and
eyes.
black.
his eyes are voids, but not.
yeah.
Yeah, they look like the void. Anyway, moving on.
They're all black. That's
Recap
he
commence.
just has black eyes. All right, and because that would be begin anyway.
Episode commence. There we go.
So
Yeah, I was like, "Are we? You're just
we're just gonna
starting?
pick up right there. Ari,
what's up, man?
he blinks a couple of times, and his eyes clear.
Hey, Tommel. And Ari continues to close the gap between them, so it's not like a weird across the street shouting thing.
He looks back towards where the people who are with him are starting to move away. And you see a couple of them glance back, curiously.
Does Ari recognize any of the people in the group that he's with, given his history in this district?
You probably have seen several of them before.
Okay.
None that you have like an acquaintance
Yeah.
with, because I believe very few people have positive run-ins with the Stormhammers.
Basically, I'm asking, do I recognize them as Stormhammers? Like,
Yes,
okay.
you absolutely do. Yes.
Okay.
In addition to their post-apocalyptic warrior outfits, you do recognize them. He, as you close, isn't. What are you doing here?
I live here, in fact. And funny that I bring up the word live. I'd heard things about your company and a mission you all were on. Do you want to grab a drink? And we got some catching up to do, I feel like.
I am working at the moment.
Oh. And that at that point, Ari kind of sees and is like, how long you been running with the Stormhammers?
You see defenses go up as he interprets your tone. Mirren saved us. Me and Cal, Mirren saved us both. I would be dead without them.
I would love to hear more about it, honestly. I miss you, man. You were an important part of my life for a good long while.
I heard everyone was dead. Also,
yeah.
A lot of that
Yeah. I mean, I heard the same about you, and sounds like we both got saved by somebody that presumably means quite a bit. So I would love to tell you our story. You can tell me yours, and we can pick up where we left off.
he looks back at the group, and when he looks back at you, you sort of see the blackness move, sort of flow across one eye behind and then across the other eye. I can't at the moment. As I say, I'm on the job at the moment.
Where are you staying in town?
I stay with the Stormhammers.
Okay. Well, what time are you done working? I can come calling for you. I know where they operate out of. Do I know where they operate out of?
You probably don't actually know their lair.
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yes. I feel like what you guys have is more of a clubhouse.
Yeah.
Clubhouse is what the Sons of Anarchy call their place.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, well, I can come calling for you when you're done working.
Where do you drink?
Oh, I got a couple of spots actually. I mean, Spotted Boar is a favorite of mine. It's kind of rowdy though.
You may recall that you have actually agreed to meet up for drinks at Pog's place of business.
I have. Oh, do I want? But I don't. Okay.
Which is called the Sword and Shield.
The Sword and Shield. Yeah. Well, actually, me and the rest of my, I guess you would remember him as Pod. We don't really call each other that, but me, Pog Harad, Esri, and Shade are meeting up at the Sword and Shield. Pog works there to grab a drink. You can come see everyone. I'm sure they'd be thrilled to see you again.
That's a Swords of Karn bar, right?
Yeah, it's when we got to town, we didn't have much, and they helped us out. So Pog has a job there with them. We don't have any allegiance to them or anything, but it is what it is.
I'll try to come around. Where are you all staying?
Because here's the thing. It's been a minute since Ari's seen Tommel. And Ari knows one thing. He does not like the Stormhammers at all. So I would like to make, I'll say what I'm going to say, and then we can determine roles. Oh, I mean, we don't live together. It's not like we're a club or anything. So, I have a small apartment above a little shop. I think Pog lives in a room at Sword and Shield. Not really sure where Shade and Esri stay. We're not super close, but we spend time together. And Ari makes a mental note to inform the rest of the group.
For a moment, he's very much the Tommel you remember. Shade and Esri?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought then.
That they would make it out? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, they would be. I wouldn't have predicted that one. Interesting.
Man, I wish Ari had any level of insight into the human condition.
Make a deception check.
I do have a +1 to insight because I'm proficient in it, but 19.
Okay, well, he rolled a natural. His die roll was a 2. So
Okay, so you say natural 20.
I heard
whatever.
natural and was like, great.
I see. All right. Yeah, if I can, I'll try to come around the Sword and Shield. It's a bit dicey, but I'll see.
If you can. If not, I mean, I'm surprised I haven't seen you more. I spend a lot of time in this district, so I'm sure we'll see each other around if you can't make it. But I'd love to talk to you again.
Yes. I'll try.
Sounds good.
I'm glad you're all right.
I'm glad you're all right. It was tough the day that we heard, but I'm glad you're with us.
Well, I suppose best I didn't come back to the facility.
That was a wise call on your part. Yeah, things it all happened so quickly. We basically ran out of there, so I don't even know the full scope of what happened. I had assumed that everybody was dead, which, I mean, yeah. So we haven't run into anybody else that we knew from the program other than ourselves. You're the first person we've come across. So
Crazy what's going on in Sharn, though.
Do what now?
And then someone goes, Tom.
Of course. That's the point where you're going to cut off the conversation.
I'll try to come around. And he turns and goes.
That'd be great. Okay. Bye. And Ari kind of gives a playful wave to any of the the Stormhammers that he is aware of and may be aware of him. Just like
one of them scowls meaningfully at you.
And then
Ari that brings up a setting question. How would folk keep up with news, global news or area news?
As it happens, there are several internationally published newspapers.
That's honestly, Ari's headed to a newsstand to go get a news. Like, he doesn't keep up with Corvair news.
There are. I mean, every major city, of course, has theirs. Stormreach has one. What is the someone? Okay, somewhere over the course, because it's not in any of the source books. Over the course of this episode, someone needs to come up with the name of the Stormreach newspaper. The Stormreach what?
Okay.
Right. Typically, Eberron trope is they're kind of is kind of a noir setting, and so they're kind of like old-fashioned newspaper titles. But the two really big international ones are the Korenberg Chronicle, which is published by the University of Korenberg in the gnome capital of Zalargo, and that is the sort of respected New York Times, Wall Street Journal paper of record. And then the other really popular one is the Sharn Inquisitive, which is more like the National Enquirer. sort of tabloid paper, or maybe not quite so much National Enquirer, but more like Us Weekly or that kind of thing. Just it's not hard-hitting journalism.
Ogres, they're just like us.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So
yeah,
yes, there are large distribution newspapers.
Ari would try to go grab a newspaper, just that dramatic movie moment where he just runs up and grabs a headline. But
And the newspaper spirals into the frame.
Yeah. All right. So, does anyone have, other than reading the newspaper, does anyone have anything they're wanting to accomplish before meeting up for dinner? Yes. All right.
So as they're heading back to town, Esri will. He's sort of trying to give Shade the how exactly to recognize this plant that he found, that she had been looking for him before. That's a lot of fours in one statement. And he says, I could introduce you to Geralt if you're interested. If you can learn to find these, we could we could really improve our financial situation. Actually, I have this idea that if you could find these while you're out there, then I wouldn't have to spend my time doing that. And I could use that time to take the next step and not just find the plants, but we could actually start like refining them ourselves. Well, I could start refining them.
Esri's a tip
But
number one.
you would need to know
Bezos.
you would need to know Geralt, unless you just want to bring him back for me, but that doesn't seem right.
But why would I want to meet him? Why couldn't I just bring them back for you?
I mean, you could if you want, but
Episode 9, Breaking Bad.
I think he might have questions.
Our young impressionable friend into the drug business. God,
I don't. He's not the kind of man that wants people involved without his knowledge.
Shouldn't you talk to him then? I don't want to make waves or make somebody upset. That.
Well, right. No, we would talk to him together, and then he would know you, and then it would be okay.
But I have a job.
Right. This would just be like while you're on the job. It's a natural marriage. I take your time, think about this. It doesn't have to be today. We'll talk about it. It's fine. It's fine. Just think it over.
I will.
And then you'll recruit 2 or 3 friends into the business.
She only has 2 other friends.
And they, in turn, only have 2 other friends. But one of them
you
is
sign
Shade.
back up under me, I'll be diamond tier.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Casey.
Oh, I will have more questions. I don't understand it. What you're saying.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's a lot at once. I need to go find him though. It's always best when it's fresh. So I'll catch up.
Okay.
Great. And I want to see if I can go find Geralt and
Sure. So you make your way down towards the harbor. Real quick, out of curiosity, Shade, where do you go?
Oh, I definitely make my way past Donnabella's place.
Okay. So Esri, you make your way down towards the harbor.
Making my way.
And you know where.
It really wasn't that. It wasn't worth that reaction.
I know, but now I'm just singing it in my head.
Me too.
Oh,
I'm
I said
seeing the music video,
making your way. Yes.
But I'm seeing the music video with Esri playing the web piano.
Every actual play I have participated
Bouncing
in
over
has
the
had that happen.
Yeah.
All the way back in the original Geek Pantheon show.
Everyone that I've watched has had that happen like, many times. Yeah. Anyway, as you proceed in the direction of the harbor,
This episode scuffed.
you are easily able to find Gerald's place of business. Gerald runs what appears to be a it's a pawn shop, really, is effectively what it does. As you come in, you can see that he's working up a display on one wall of extremely beautiful swords, which he is ranging up and pricing. And he turns around. Now,
That's nice.
Gerald is fabulously dressed, but in kind of a shabby way. So he's got like a frock coat with tails that's sort of a dirty red, and it's patched in a couple of places, and his hair is sort of slicked back. He's got just fantastic mutton chops and a curled mustache. And he sort of turns to you and says, "Esri, how are you, my boy?"
Gerald, you closet aesthetist. Didn't know you had this in you. It's a museum or a shop.
Well, to make a buck in this town, you've got to do a little bit extra above all the competition.
Noted. Any of
What can I
those,
do for you?
Any
Or
of
what
those,
can you do for me?
Good for what they look like they're good for?
Of course. They don't call me Gerald Goodblade for nothing.
Fair enough. I look around. Is there anyone else in the shop?
No, the shop is empty other than the two of you.
I have made an acquisition that you have been wanting.
Have you?
Yes,
What's that? What have we got?
Of an herbal sort.
Ah, excellent. Step over here, my boy. And he walks over towards a bar, a shop counter, and elaborately takes out a crystal lensed monocle and fits it into his eye as if he was going to examine a jewel a gemstone that you had brought him.
And I'll pull out the bushel of stems with leaves that I have gathered and place it before him.
Ah, I see. And he begins to examine them all closely. Yes, these are fine specimens. Where did you find them, Esri?
Oh, walking about in the... What is the jungle area called? Does it have a specific name, or is it just...
The geographic region that you're currently on is the Skyfall Peninsula, is the geographic region where Stormreach sits. But no, the jungle is generally speaking just the jungle. There are several rivers in the area, but
Okay. Just out in the jungle, I do have a talent.
fine. Keep your secrets. Can't blame me for trying. So, R.A., what are the properties of the plant that you have brought to Gerald?
Let's see. Actually, I enumerated them. I think I'm trying to remember when Shade and I were talking about it a few episodes back.
Did you?
I think what's in my head is that, like, traditionally you can, just fresh, you can sort of make it into a tea for a light, like analgesic, throat pain. You can, and sort of a stomach remedy. If you like squeeze the oil from it, it can be a very topical pain reliever. But its strong value is if you refine it, refine that property out of it and just get it to the pure chemical that does the numbing, then you can make it into all sorts of different things based on dosage.
Mm-hmm. And what is it called?
It is called
Donabella Bright Doom.
That's the strain.
Bright Doom's going to be the street name Esri uses for it.
It's harder to come up with plant names, apparently. I've never had to do this before. The plant name.
I mean, it could have a colloquial name. You don't have to necessarily have the scientific name for it, although Esri probably knows the scientific name. But
Spiked Shade.
Spiked Shade. Nice.
Or Spike Shade. Let's do that.
Ironically, is the same name that we use when we talk about Shade that time she had one too many whiskeys.
Which for her is one.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Spike Shade. Nice. You know, my boy, you really ought to come just work for me here. I could set you up and you could just do the processing for me and manage that side of the business.
You know, it's funny you should say that. I had an idea.
Of course you did.
Very
Of course you did, my boy.
Very, very similar to what you said. I thought I could set up, well, not here, but I could save the trouble of having to refine this yourself. I could set up my own little place. I would need, a little startup cash.
That's how you get killed by your drug dealer, man. Offer to set up a side gig.
I could take all the things I find and just bring you the end result.
But no, I'm sure this isn't what you intend, but that sounds an awful lot like you becoming my competitor. Doesn't that sort of render me just a middleman between your production and the customers? What's to stop them from just coming to buy from you?
Well, that wasn't my intention, of course. I just thought I would save the effort of you having to... I mean, it's low-level work. I don't have customers. You are my only customer. I don't know anyone who would take this from this form and make money off of it. I would rely on you entirely for that.
Mm-hmm.
I have other interests in the botanical studies besides this particular one. That was really my thought, is, I could get set up and do my normal work and my experiment work, and then, this would continue. It would just be a little more efficient.
Well, I tell you, my boy, what if I set you up with a workshop, and it's all right with me if you use a corner of it for your own experiments in horticulture, but it's still, the space is still mine, as it were, and you'd be working for me. You'd be doing a job for me. Save yourself some trips out in the jungle. I'm sure I can hire someone to make those trips, and you just handle the refinery process.
If he sets you up with an assistant that's his personal choice, we are literally entering an arc of Breaking Bad.
Are you going to call it Los Pollos Hermanos? Is that the name?
Yeah.
Let me think about that. That's not bad. I actually have someone in mind.
Fascinating. Well,
They would need a little bit of training. They don't have my instincts. But yeah, let me get back to you.
you do that. You think of now. No problem with our current relationship. Entirely satisfied with your bringing this business to me. But if you'd like to make our arrangement slightly more formal, more personal, we could be partners. You see, we could be partners, Ezri.
Excellent. Speaking of our current arrangement, and he sort of looks down.
Of course. And he slides them over onto a little scale and weighs the quantity that you have brought him. And then he counts out from a lockbox under the counter. He sets out 8 pieces of gold and 4 silver.
Ezri's buying drinks tonight.
Absolutely lovely. You are the best, Gerald.
Aren't I just?
Third one on the left is just a little crooked.
What? Thank you, my boy. Thank you. He turns and begins adjusting the...
And just sort of tosses the coins and walks
I
out.
don't trust
and
anybody
heads-
that says my boy that much.
Yeah.
For the record,
You know what it is?
don't.
I just realized it. Gerald looks like Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York.
No,
That's
I
what Gerald
really
looks
don't
like.
trust that dude.
Okay. Why did you pitch any business to this guy? You should have
will
sent a
stab you.
courier to do this job.
I have 2 pitches for the Stormreach newspaper.
Okay.
If we want to just go standard classic newspaper, the Stormreach Sentinel, or the Stormreach Sweet Trade,
Sweet trade.
which is a colloquial term for piracy in a lot of history books, is the Sweet Trade. So those are my 2 pitches.
Stormreach Sweet
Not know
Trade.
that.
I was worried that this wasn't going to be a show that was nerdy enough, so I'm glad. I'm glad you're really going to go over the top.
I don't know what you were expecting from me, but spend literally 50% of my time talking about D&D. So
You went so deep that the dude who majored in history was like, "What? What are you even
What was
talking
the-
about?"
Sweet trade was not one I had. No.
Sweet trade. I can I counter? Can I keep the
Yes.
sweet trade and suggest broken stone sweet trade?
Broken Stone Sweet Trade. That's the name of the. That's the whole name.
Yeah.
Okay. Also a good one.
Because we live in a ruin.
You would literally make that initialed, like the giant capital letters on the top of that newspaper would just be BS.
Oh, be-
I feel like that's an amazing header for a newspaper.
no, whatever.
So, well, we have some suggestions, and we'll
Yeah.
continue. Shade, you go towards Donnabella's house. What is your plan? Is it just hang out and stare?
Yep.
Lurk? a
Deep
little?
character development here.
Lurk. All right, make a stealth check.
If there's an opportunity
lurk.
to yeah, if there's an opportunity to hide behind something, she will take it. If not, she's not gonna like just stand in the middle and be like
No, I mean, yeah, there are things to hide behind. I mean, you found a perch last time.
I did. All right, stealth. $11.
So you start to climb back up to your perch, and as you start to haul yourself up on top of it, there's a ah! And you see that there's a dude up there who was clearly just sort of enjoying his lunch and having a nap. in the sun when all of a sudden you climbed up.
Sorry, lovely spot. Good choice.
Oh,
Enjoy.
all right. So you're not very confident in the available hiding places in the middle of the day compared to your previous late in the evening option.
Right. Yeah, I'm much more stealthy in the dark.
Like most of us.
Right.
Speak for yourself.
Can I visit because aren't merchants right there?
Yeah.
Can I visit the stalls?
Yeah.
Please try
As
to
a
buy
way to-
silverware. There
Terrified of silverware now.
So as you go up to what stall do you go up to? What is the stall you are attracted to selling?
Oh. Cups.
Selling cups. Okay. So yeah, like earthenware, like earthenware cups, that kind of thing. Or yeah. Okay. So yeah, you go up to a shop selling cups. There's in fact a guy sitting behind towards the back of the little tent booth with a foot powered wheel, and he's actually turning a cup. And the woman who's standing behind looks up, narrows her eyes, and says, "Weren't you here the other day when that girl ran through here making such a mess?"
I don't know what you're
Make a
talking
deception
about.
check, please.
I don't know.
No. You had me fooled.
8.
Oh my lord.
She, like, her narrowed eyes turn to a scowl. "You were. You did.
So
You
sorry.
did some kind of magic.
Nope.
Blew over half a dozen cups. Right next to my stall.
You're
Sent everything flying."
beautiful. You're pretty. I'm sorry. She just turns and walks away.
It seems like she's like halfway into, like, about to demand something of you when you're pretty, but sort of just. And by the time she works out what to say, you have. I mean, do you cheese it? Like, is it just?
Correct. Yes, that is. It worked.
That's one word to use.
But you
Shade didn't
panicked
explode in a
without exploding
wave
anything.
of
That's right.
thunder. So
Growth. All right.
and in none of that do I observe the household.
No. No, this was an unsuccessful stakeout.
Oh, okay.
Behind you, a small child is escorted out in handcuffs, and you see none of it.
We really need to fight something.
This'll be the last the world ever hears of the Bright Dooms.
The apartment's burning. Gestapo's outside, and this is what you came for.
Shade's complimenting people and running away.
Pulls her hood up to not even look peripherally.
That is correct.
All right. Anything else before we meet up at the Sword and Shield?
I mean, was Ari able to find out what was going on in Sharn through looking at a newspaper?
You have found a newspaper, and as you all are convening on the Sword and Shield, Ari is, walking and reading with the newspaper out,
Showing off that he can do both at the same time.
Yep.
You find an article. It's pretty deep back.
It's not headline news.
Yeah, it's not headline news. You kind of can imagine why you haven't. Yeah, I mean, the headline news is all Stormreach and Zendrick related.
Found a new kind of rock that the Giants made.
Fish people, still detestable.
That's Pog's editorial he writes in every week that never gets published.
Letter to the editor. Could we please genocide fish people? I learned that word from my friends. They think
About how we
than me.
shouldn't do it, but I have a dissenting opinion. I also learned that word from one of my
You find in a headline in the back, and 3 pages back, let's say, a column with the title "House Tarkanan Strikes Again," and "House" is in quotation marks.
rude.
Scandalous.
And as you, yeah, but it's a misuse of quotation marks there. It's meant to be emphasis. No, I'm kidding. No, it's just scare quotes. The gist of the article is that a criminal organization calling itself House Tarkanan, in mockery of the dragon-marked houses, robbed a Cannith warehouse in the night, leaving behind their beholder crest imprinted on the wall. And the representatives of House Cannith emphasized that this is exactly the sort of behavior that we can expect from those with aberrant marks who are not properly handled.
You all know that meme of Lucille Bluth when she's like, "Good for her," about the horrifying news story. That's Ari's like, "Good for them." Okay. And would the term House Tarkanan carry any real weight for Ari?
Make ye a history check.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm smart. I'm just not wise. So, which, self-insert characters are always fun to play. 14.
14. Yes. What you know, the name Tarkanan derived or is associated with the War of the Mark, which you don't know a lot about because not a lot is recorded. But a figure named Halas Tarkanan was the leader and the leader of the aberrant marked army, and with the moniker the Earth Shaker. And he is believed responsible. And I'm just going to declare, Ezra, you absolutely know this because of growing up in Sharn. He is believed responsible for, in the last battle of the war, which took place in the old city of Durasharn, of bringing down the entire city, of causing an earthquake that brought down most of the city.
Probably Dragon Mark propaganda, but we'll go ahead and write it down. Okay.
What's the time frame for this?
The War of the Mark is, I should just know these things, but I think about 1,000 years ago.
How dare you not know all the lore?
I know, right?
Top of your dome. In the most recent book that was released, so it's not burned into our brains yet.
500 years before the establishment of the Kingdom of Galifar, so about 1,500 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you have all arrived. So Pog, you see as your, I'm assuming the intention here was your shift would be like ending so you guys could have dinner. As you're sort of wrapping up your shift, you see your companions begin trickling in.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys,
As he folds the newspaper under his arm. How's work?
I got us a table. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I got us a table.
Cool.
Is it busy?
Yeah, it's fairly busy. It's not every table full, but it's
Ari is keeping eyes around, looking out for Tommel as he walks across. Does he see him?
not at the moment.
As soon as everybody's there, Ari would convey his very crafty lie that he told to Tommel. Like, okay, listen. Talk to Tommel first and foremost because he might show up because I invited him. Sorry. A, it is Tommel. He's alive. B, he asked where we're staying and he's fallen in with like a terrorist group. So I didn't want to tell him that we all live in a very flammable treehouse together in case, you know.
Wait, which one?
I don't know. Stormhammers. Anyway, so I lied to him and said that I have an apartment somewhere. Pog, you live here in one of the rooms. And I said, I don't know where you two live. So, because we're not that
But that's
close.
a lie, right? Like you're not
Yes,
moving
absolutely.
out of the
But
treehouse.
I have to live here now.
No. It's a lie. No. Okay. Nothing. Just whatever Tommel says about our living situation, go with it. Just be like, yep, that's right. Cool.
Pog, you're not
fine.
moving out, are you?
Did you?
Okay.
Did you bring my things?
I didn't expect that you all would be this obtuse. No, okay. It was a lie that I told to protect us because I don't know what Tommel's deal is because he's at least running with some bad people. I'm not saying he is a bad person, but I want to get a feel for him before I tell him that we live in a tree house. Okay.
Okay, so you lied to Tommel.
Yes.
So now me
If
and
it
Shade
comes
have
up.
to lie.
If
to
it
Tommel.
comes up, don't like as soon as he sits down, go, I live here now. Don't do that, Pog, because yeah, that'd be weird. But
How did
That
he
would be
totally
weird.
know what I was doing? 100%. I've known that since your conversation with him. Damn and blast.
So yeah, just Tommel.
I would not
Survived.
offer him where I live.
Yeah, just Yeah.
Where do you live, Shade?
oh my
In
god.
the treehouse with y'all.
I don't know if he's going to come. He probably won't, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. He seems fine, but weird at the same time. I think he actually, he mentioned somebody named Mirren getting him out. So I don't know what that means, but he's under the impression that everyone else... No, you know what? I'm not going to say that because that's going to derail this conversation. So I'm going to put a pin in that.
Wait, did you mention that name?
Mirren?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have mentioned that part. I'm just
Does
not
that
going to
name
bring up
mean
the fact that he
anything
said
to any of us, Philip?
But what?
Those of you who, and I would say, this is probably, most of you, again, are probably familiar with the gangs. Stormhammers are a gang of street toughs that particularly operate out of Cross. Mirren is known to be the leader of the Stormhammers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know that name from our past, but
No.
interesting.
You probably know that name from stories around the city, but you don't know it from, it's not from the facility, not from the program.
Pog would definitely have heard that
Yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah.
referenced in the bar.
Yeah, certainly.
So anyway, other than reading about some crime drama going on in Sharn, that was my afternoon. How are you all doing?
Not bad. It's a good day.
Another day, another silver, right?
After Esri tried to beat me up, I may
Wait, what?
or may not have.
That's not.
I mean, he didn't succeed.
As
It wasn't. I wasn't. No one was trying to beat you up.
Well, you tried to beat me up.
You know, when you
use-
laugh while you're saying it, it makes you sound more suspicious, Esri.
You won, Shade?
Yeah.
It wasn't there was no, it wasn't a competition.
It was not a competition.
High five.
I thought
Shade, will you high five Pog?
High
There
five.
we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I did.
Shade.
I imagine Pog's hand was right here in Ari's face, reaching across the table at Shade. Can you high five him?
Absolutely was.
I thought Shade would enjoy testing
beaten
her
up.
abilities a little bit, and I thought we would keep that between us.
Oh, like a practice fight.
It's something like that.
Did you tell
when
me
we practiced.
we were gonna keep that?
No,
Oh, I don't know why you thought that I knew that.
me
then.
either.
Do we all have secrets from each other? Because I didn't remember signing up for that. I thought we were like cool.
I think it's been very clear that I don't have secrets.
I
didn't
intentionally
want-
don't keep secrets from you all. I mean, I think
wasn't
it's
the
gotten weird a couple times with how open of a book I am. So
Yeah, but I mean, now that
Shade and I are training regularly in the woods to help her
regularly,
get
how
a little
long has
more-
this been going on?
today.
and it will continue so that incidents decrease.
Good news. I did not thunder wave someone when I got nervous in a situation this afternoon.
Hot diggity dog.
But
Okay, yep. Thank you.
what we were only apart for like an hour.
Well, I am less stealthy in the day than I am at night. And I am
Yeah, that's how that works.
still I'm much better in the woods. I'm just much better in the jungle. And the city just doesn't work the same way. But I went to go check on Donabella. And I couldn't climb to the perch that I did last time because someone was already there.
Last time?
And then I decided to go in a street vendor shop. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. I hate people so much. They're the worst.
Thank you.
And a lady recognized me from the whole like cutlery
Yesterday.
thing.
Yeah, yesterday. Yes. We remember.
From 8 hours ago.
Well, so did she. I didn't see them, so I thought that
Typical cat behavior. I can't see them. I'm hidden.
they wouldn't notice me, but she did, and I got nervous, and I complimented her wares, and I ran away. But I did not.
That's progress.
I didn't thunder wave her wares.
Hey, Pog, what's going on here?
Can't
Nobody's come to
confirm that it
take our
was me.
order this whole time.
Oh,
Are you still on shift?
I think I was supposed to. Pog
That was
stands
not-
up and walks away. Walks away from
Eric
the
says
table
trying
because
to
I
set up Pog to share about the cutting of staff due
Nope,
to recent
nope, I
instances.
don't have my apron, and there is no other staff here. I have been pulling double duty.
Pog, no, okay. Well, that was not okay.
Pog walks back over, tying his apron off around him. Hi.
Buddy.
They fired everybody that's not me.
Wait, that's not
Why?
how we start. Welcome to.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
yes,
Esri,
sorry.
shut up. No, Pog,
finish
go
the
back to what you were
story.
saying before.
Did you want a drink?
No, why did they fire everybody
No.
but you?
Because, well, you know, upstairs where we have rooms where
No,
I
am
live.
thirsty. Can you go get drinks first and then we can talk about it?
Oh,
Yes. Well, oh my gosh. What do you want, Shade?
I want to hear your story, Pog. I'm okay without a drink.
Okay, I'll get Ari's first. Ari, what did you want to drink?
Half and half, buddy.
Half and half. Esri,
Why do you drink that swill?
Hey,
we don't
we
have
talked
swill.
about that word. Not okay. It's a proud drink of a proud people.
Rum with water and some bitters, please. 1 piece of ice.
Okay. And Pog turns to leave and goes to get the drinks.
Sure you don't want anything, Shade?
Well,
That really was your opportunity.
I'm fine.
You can have to. You know how long he tells stories.
Drink
That's
that
why
much
I
water
ordered the
anyways.
drinks, because I mean we're gonna be here for a half hour before he gets to the point.
Pog comes back with the half
Hey,
and
buddy.
half, and he puts it in front of you, and then turns and walks right back away.
Oh my God, he's getting them one at a time. Well, thank you.
You're gonna cover this right tonight, Ari?
Oh, I didn't get paid. Tomlin interrupted my gig, so I need somebody to cover me tonight.
In fact, you lost money because you bought a newspaper.
That's true. My drink costs like $1.50. Calm down. Like somebody can spot me this time. It's like mostly water.
Pog comes back and sets down a beer and a cup of ice and a whiskey. I just know it was more than one thing.
Literally. No, it's fine.
All right, buddy.
You did a great job.
Apron off
fine.
time. Story.
Well done, Pog.
Thank you, Shade. And I take my apron off and I fold it up very, very slowly, very careful with this prized possession that proves I'm employed. Sits down. I didn't get my beer.
I don't think anybody's gonna drink this one. Okay.
Take the whiskey.
At least he didn't put the apron back on.
I just dump out most of the ice onto the ground. Pour the whiskey into the ice and then the
To
beer
the ground.
over
Who
it.
are you? Why would you dump ice onto the floor of a restaurant that we're sitting in?
When one of the
Sorry,
members
let me,
doesn't
let
have
me
a
do that
drink,
in Ari voice.
Pog comes back and sits down with a
Bottoms up.
rum, 1 ice cube, and some bitters.
Oh,
Sets it in front of him.
did you just accidentally do that?
That's for him. Esri, calm down. Drink your
Has
whiskey.
inspiration. Colin has inspiration.
I'm going to hand my mixture of whiskey and beer to Pog and pull
Pog
the
is
other
chewing
glass.
on the 1 ice cube.
No, nope. That's
So what's
Colin,
going on, buddy?
Do you know what inspiration is?
Nope.
Okay, so you can spend inspiration to get advantage on a roll.
Hey, all right.
Because you did a good thing.
Cool. Okay. It was a big piece of ice.
Oh my.
The rooms upstairs, like where I already said I have to move, people have been staying there. They stay
That's
up
what
there
they're for, right?
sometimes. What?
That's what they're for, right?
Esri, just don't let him.
I
think
didn't
so.
understand what the problem was.
So they're in the rooms, and when they go downstairs or somewhere, they leave everything upstairs, and it's not there anymore. People took it.
got
People
stolen.
took the things that were their things, and so they fired everybody. That's not me.
The staff was stealing.
What's the connect? Yeah.
No. The employees might be, but not the staffs.
Who?
I just
Why?
today realized that I'm a true -1 intelligence, and I am going on this thing.
Pog, why did the employees get fired because someone stole stuff? I'm sorry, I keep hitting my microphone.
Well, when you have stuff here and it gets stolen, we have to give you new stuff or money for stuff. And he doesn't have any more money for stuff.
feel like a sign of not responsible for lost or stolen goods would be.
Yeah, that's a really kind of a big
effective.
oversight in
Do you have one?
liability mitigation.
I could whip one up in about 5
Hang
minutes.
on. Hang on. Let me tell my boss. And he gets up from the table to go find his boss.
Okay. Well, I wish we could have talked through this more before we make a formal pitch. So what's our take
Do you
on it?
already do you already have paper, or do you need some paper?
I would probably need paper or wood.
Maybe
I mean, I
looking
imagine
around
a
for
sign
some
like this would be
paper.
good on wood.
Oh,
Takes another drink of his half and half. I mean, I don't know. That was just honestly a spitball idea. And
Pog returns with Carl.
Hello, sir.
Guys, this is Carl. He's my boss.
Are these the friends you
Carl.
were telling me about?
Yes. This
I
is
see.
this is Shade. I say her first because she's the girl. And that's
I'm
Ari.
his friend.
Yes, my friend. That's my friend Shade.
Okay. Yep.
And
Thank you.
that's Ari. And that's Esri.
Good to meet you all. I'm Carl.
So
I own this establishment.
yeah, wonderful place.
Thank you.
Yep. So Pog was telling us about some trouble you've been having with theft, and you're recouping people for stolen items.
Yes.
Is that I don't own an establishment like this, but is that common in because I feel like that's not on you necessarily that this stuff got stolen.
I'm sorry, Pog implied that he had some friends who could help solve my problem, not criticize my business practice.
No,
Ari's going to make a sign.
to be
And
fair,
no one's going to steal anymore.
that we merely made the beginning of a suggestion to Pog, and he ran off and got you.
Why didn't I think of that all these years living in a pirate town? And I didn't think, we could just put up signs that say no crime, and then all
Well,
the crime would go away.
It's
The
okay,
sign that-
Carl. I
the
forget
sign
to
that
think of
I
things all the time.
proposed.
He said
Once
that
again,
in in a tone that implied the opposite of what he said,
Good catch.
yes,
but he
2 points.
the seedling of an idea that I had that Pog so enthusiastically went and got you for was, would there not be some way you could communicate to your guests that you are not liable for anything that's stolen on your premises?
I'm sorry, I came over here because of an idea that Pog pitched to me that he had some friends who might be able to solve my problem. But it sounds like you're here
Let's
to offer free and unsolicited business advice.
I'm not doing
What
that.
is
I'm
the
trying to solve the problem.
problem? What is the problem you
Someone
need to
is stealing from my inn.
How frequently is it happening?
It's happened 3 times in the last week.
Okay.
That is quite a lot.
Any nights consecutively, or are they spread out?
It happened 2 nights in a row, and then not, and then again the night after that.
All right. I mean, if you would like us to, we're more than happy to help. Pog obviously appreciates his job here, and anything we can do to help you, and in turn help him, we're more than willing to do, because we are friends. So I mean, was it one particular room, multiple rooms that this occurred in?
It was 3 different rooms.
3 different rooms. Do you have anybody staying in those rooms right now?
No, my inn has obtained a reputation for being haunted by a thief.
Fair enough.
not
Pog,
good.
no, different kind of haunted. So
I don't know that, quite frankly.
Well,
Doors and windows were closed.
oh God,
All I'm saying is
we'll talk
it
about
might
it. Buddy.
be.
It might be. Well, would you be okay with us going and taking a look and seeing if we can spot anything that maybe didn't catch your eye in an
Sure.
attempt to help? All right.
Before,
Once
what
again-
was the value of things stolen? I mean, obviously it impacted business.
Significant.
Ballpark? Average?
Ballpark.
How much did you pay out
Okay.
to the victims?
That would be between me and my ledger.
Fair enough.
Did you want me to go get that?
No.
I could use another half and half, buddy. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's too late. That look away, that dejected look, he has slowly grabbed
That was
the
not
apron
in
off the edge
fiction.
of
That
the
was
table.
not in fiction. Give me my cup back. Give me my make-believe cup back.
I'm not going to refill your cup. What kind of Esri run monstrosity of an institution do you think this is? You get a new glass. Pog is gone making it.
All right. Well, we'll go up there and take a look as soon as we get a chance and see if we can find anything and figure out what's going on for you.
Thank you.
Sorry to disturb you in whatever you were doing, but I hope
What's the inn that you run?
The inn that I run? Oh man, I have such a good deception score. I could, but I'm not going to.
He already
Apologies.
said he didn't.
I don't run an inn, but I do frequent quite a few. So I'm kind of an observer of the industry, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And
Excellent.
it's a unique problem that you have. So I hope that I can be of some assistance.
Pog comes back in this
And he turns and
awkward
walks away.
silence and sets the cup down in front of Ari. Shade, are you thirsty yet?
What?
No, I'm good. But thank you.
Okay.
How much did your boss say he was going to pay for our help?
I was getting Ari's drink. I didn't hear when you guys asked him.
No, like
The man
earlier,
doesn't have money to pay his staff, so we can negotiate once we fix the problem, I imagine. He's not in a position to pay much right now.
Yeah, that's always.
I think
it's always the best
part of our
time to
payment-
negotiate payment after the problem's gone.
I think
part of the payment is keeping Pog's job also. I don't want to cover his rent.
I
Yeah,
also
it is
think
expensive
Punk's
here.
job is part of it.
We don't pay rent.
But then, I mean, sorry, what were you going to say, Philip?
I wasn't going to say. I was clearing my throat.
Well, let's
Before we go off
Oh no, let's
ghost
not.
hunting. Well, I was just going to say, I mean, we did agree to meet here for kind of a reason. I mean, we did kind of leave things unresolved earlier today in terms of what we're going to do. I haven't seen Falco all day, thankfully, and I imagine if any of you had, you either wouldn't be here or you would have mentioned it.
Then the door opened. No.
Yeah, that's about right.
Falco kicks down the door.
Falco sits down next to you.
Well. Shade cast Thunderwave.
100%. Yes.
Have any of you all had time to give any thought to our problem?
I have made inquiries as to strengthening a tie between myself and some business contacts. Figure it's a good idea if someone cares if we go missing.
Fair enough.
I care if you go missing.
Thank you, Shade. The feeling is mutual. But I meant outside our little circle of trust here.
I don't need them. Thank you.
Can I take my apron off and sit back down now?
Yeah, buddy.
This bar is affiliated, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what do they? There's an expression, something about 2 kobolds and 1 spear or something. I don't know. Seems like we
You
can.
Breelish are so weird. I don't get anything that you
But it's not actually an expression that has anything to do with two birds with one stone. It's an expression of a common kobold tactic of stealing human-sized spears that are too large for a single kobold. And so two kobolds run at you holding the same spear.
And a trench coat. We do this if we solve this problem. Maybe.
I mean, none of us are Carnathi, though. I mean, I don't imagine they would have much love for us. And
Point of order.
Yes.
The Swords of Karn are very specifically not Carnathi.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
Drago Thule, the leader of the Swords of Karn, is. But the Swords of Karn are actually one of the more diverse of the town's militias because the commonality they have is they're all veterans.
Gotcha.
Hog interrupts Ari while he's talking and informs the entire table of that just as eloquently because that's the one thing I know about since I work here.
Oh, well, apologies, Pog. I didn't know that.
I know, that's why I told you.
I'm not looking for love. I'm looking for use. I want them
work
to.
For him?
I want them to miss us and want to protect us if something bad happens. And if we're useful to them.
Well, and I think that may be a disconnect that maybe we're having as a collective. I don't think we all need to hitch our wagons to the same horse because that horse would get tired. But as long as we all make, yes, Pog?
But a bunch of horses.
But a bunch of horses make light work. Mm-hmm. That's a saying. Mm-hmm. So I think the important part is that we all, and he looks at Shade, all make an effort to connect with people here in the town, or organizations that are going to want to. I mean, you do expeditions.
I do have a friend. I like Solarka very much.
Me too.
She
Good.
is wonderful.
We
I
know
have a
that.
connection. I am good.
You also get along with Harish at the Ship's Cat.
That's true. That's true. I
So that's
am
two.
a mentor.
Does Shade work? Like, is there a I don't want to say governing body, but is there a centralized entity
Agency.
that facilitates Shade's work leading expeditions, or is Shade
Safari company.
an
Well,
independent contractor?
As it happens,
Just walks up to people. Want to go to the jungle?
Shay did make an impression on the
Did.
one and only Hallis Martain, who could get her inducted into the world famous Wayfinders Guild,
Oh,
which is to say no.
I was thinking.
Okay.
Shade
Just got overwhelmed
Shade
with
is an
potential responsibility.
Shade is an independent.
Shade
Do
has
you just
pilot
like hang
tenders
out on the
every
edge of the forest waiting for someone to come by?
This is legitimately why Shade has learned to read and write, is so she could post about her services around town. It was way
D&D
easier than
LinkedIn.
trying, right? Approaching people was not very. That's not what she's good at.
Yeah.
So
So if there's a guild or an organization or something with what you do that would appreciate a person with your skills, that could also work. So
Esri said
I'm
that
just saying.
he knew someone that might be interested in my skills, but
Well, my business contact would very much be interested in having someone else to find plants, useful plants.
I do like finding plants.
And I could teach you what I know.
I wouldn't have to do expeditions. I could just go into the jungle by myself.
That is true.
I feel like we're venturing
great.
away from my initial point a bit, but
After a moment, Carl comes over. So, you were going to investigate the rooms, or you were going to sit and drink?
I didn't realize that was a right now thing. We're
I'm just trying to figure out whether you're people I might rely on to solve a problem, or people who are just customers in my bar.
I don't
Let's
see why
go
those two
look
things
at the
have to be
rooms.
mutually exclusive, but
I didn't
sure.
say they have to be mutually exclusive, but they're two different things.
I know where the rooms are.
Very
Lead the way,
reliable.
Pog.
Okay.
All right.
Pog is the
And
leader.
Carl hands Pog a set of keys.
And Ari has his half and half glass with him as he gets up.
And we go upstairs.
All right.
This, by the
and
way,
we'll
is
pick up
terrible
there next time. Huzzah. All right.
Yippee! That went off the rails on you, huh, Phil? If this were Friends, it would be the one where nothing got done.
It started to turn into the third planning meeting in a row. So thought I'd move it along. So next time we'll investigate the hotel robberies. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this and our episode where we investigated drug deals and didn't blow up tavern shop or market stalls and met
Metal
weird-
friends.
Met old friends. Yes, old friends. That's how we're gonna express that
It
encounter.
is important for me to just clarify that at no point did Ari tell us about shark eyes.
It's very true. Yes, Ari did
never
not.
got
true.
mentioned.
Did not inform you
I am
of the
going-
Especially the
strange
part
thing.
where they
Freak
move across.
I'm gonna freak out. I can't wait for shark.
It's gonna be great. I'm so happy.
Start of next episode. By the way, Tomo had shark eyes. I don't know if I.
Pog has his headphones in.
Anyway, so hope you enjoyed this for some reason. If you have, please let us know. Give us a like, give us a comment, help us feed the almighty algorithm. And if you would like to get in contact with us and be a part of some of the conversation that goes on around this show, you can join us on our Discord, which you can find the link for down there. You can also find us on all of our social medias at the Geek Pantheon. All of the links are down there, as well as the link to Colin's Twitch stream, where he is Sorry BTR with a 0 for the O. And when can people see you play games, Colin?
Every Monday right now for sure, and after you hit that little heart button, every other time that I died terribly in a game.
Sweet. All right. Well, we'll find out what happens in the upper floor of the inn next time. In the meantime, this has been Khyber Shards. I'm Philip.
I'm Eric.
I'm Colin.
I'm RA.
And I'm Kesey.
We'll see you next time.